Hey everybody, Cliff Ravenscraft here from podcastanswerman.com and gspn.tv. In my last video blog update, I had shared with you my most recent purchase of the Sony UWP V6 wireless microphone system. If you didn't catch that video, head over to podcastanswerman.com/UWP. Now, if you actually check out that video, you'll notice that I was in my studio and the lighting was not great. And I had seen a friend of mine, a good friend of mine named Pat Flynn, who had recently purchased some studio lighting for a green screen setup that he has. And I decided, you know what, I could probably go for some good lighting myself. And the setup I chose to go with is the CowboyStudio setup. Now, I want to tell you, I read a lot of the reviews. By the way, the setup that I have is almost identical to the one that Pat Flynn is using. His came with a 2-light setup and mine is a 3rd light. It has a 3rd light with it. So that not only can you light your green screen from the left and from the back, but you also have a light overhead. Hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate some of this to you by the end of this video. I want to tell you, I did read all of the reviews that were out there, and a lot of people were very critical of the unit that I purchased. A lot of people were complaining that this is very, very flimsy, and that if you're not extremely careful with this, that these could maybe strip out, or it seems ultra lightweight, doesn't seem very durable. Well, what I have to say about that first and foremost is that if you look at the lighting system that I've purchased, there are equivalent or lighting kits that are just like this as far as looks, but as far as durability and some really good, rugged, solid design, a lighting set should end up costing you somewhere around $1,200, $1,400 on the low end and go up from there. What I'm looking at is where I actually purchased something at the cost or the price range of under $250. So when you consider the fact that you're paying so much less, I mean $1,000 less, then yeah, you can imagine that the quality of these cables here, or these poles, are not going to be up to the professional grade quality. That being said, if you know it ahead of time, I think that you can set your expectations right and take very good care of this equipment. Now, if I was going to be if I was a professional photographer or a professional videographer, I don't know that I'd want to be taking this in and out of a bunch of locations and stuff like that, setting it up, tearing it down, setting it up, tearing it down. But for what I plan on using, just basically setting it up in the studio and pretty much leaving it set up. On the rare occasion I might take it out of the studio and go somewhere else, on a very rare occasion, then I think this is going to work for me. The other thing I want to say is that some of the reviews talked about the instructions or the lack thereof. And this, my friends, is definitely one place where I think that they could have spent just a little bit more money. The very first thing you want to pull out is one of the tripods. Slowly and just very carefully pull this apart until you see it come up right like this. You actually strip things out and stuff like that. Again, this isn't the greatest construction, but it's going to do the job, I think. And set it on top of here, and then put it on like that. And now you can see where that's on there, and of course I could tighten this down and we're good to go. The thing is, though, is we want to put the lighting softbox on here, and I'm going to show you how it looks like this. And again, the instructions on how to do this are horrible. The other thing that you're going to get are these little rods that are going to hold. So the very first thing that you want to do is take your lighting unit, and you'll see that there's a little bit of a lip right in here, okay? And you can see that this is kind of flexible, and I want it on my own where CowboyStudio is actually at the top, okay? So if we have it like this, and then I want CowboyStudio to be at the top, down like this. And so what I'm going to do is just put this right under here, and then I'm going to hold that right there, and we've almost got it. And there. So when it's finished, it should look like this. If you're holding it straight up, the CowboyStudio should be at the top. It should be underneath this little lip there. And so now we're good to go. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to grab your metal rods. All right? Take the rubber bands off. Make sure that you do not take off the little white caps. Those white caps will be very important to make sure that you don't puncture through the material. All right. Now, when we are looking at this device here, what I want to show you is that you are going to see some holes that are pre-drilled kind of right into here. All right, and those holes will determine how you have this oriented. So again, I want the CowboyStudio to be right up at top, and you're going to see that there are some Velcro. There are some Velcro connectors here, some black Velcro connectors. We're going to do those two last. This right here, the lighting system, has a hole that kind of lines up and points toward the edge there. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I am going to stick this right in here and put it inside of this foil envelope here. All right, right there. So there's that down in there until it locks into place. And we are going to bend this until it gets in there. Now when you want to put in the ones with the black Velcro, you'll notice that the Velcro kind of has a little liner where it has a hole inside of here. All right, so you can kind of poke it right through this hole. And then you, again, put that into the hole on the lighting unit that corresponds with that. Again, fold the Velcro over top of itself right there. And there we go. Stick it through the soft end, behind the soft end of the Velcro. And again, that's just right inside of there. Follow that all the way down to the inside where it points to the other hole that still exists here for this one. All right. Okay, I got that plugged in all the way. And now what I want to do is bring this up here. And I want to pull that down. And I want to Velcro that in. All right. So there you go. That, my friends, is how you install those brackets. All right. And now what you could do is go ahead and bring your post in. Put this down on here and tighten that onto here. And now we have this. All right, so next we are going to take our light bulbs. Now, by the way, there is one light bulb that is bigger than all the other light bulbs. To put into these soft boxes here, the two soft boxes that are same, you want to use the 45-watt lights. Okay, so now I'm going to put my final light bulb in here. I actually want to say that I am impressed by the length of the cable that they provide, and that just goes into the side here. What you do is then test and make sure each of the lights come on. Now what you want to do is take the inner curtain. You'll see that it has some Velcro strips that will align right up here with the inside of the unit, and there. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am slightly concerned about the fact that this inner section here can and does touch just barely that center bulb. That kind of concerns me. Although I will tell you that I've had the other light on there for a few minutes, and I just went up and went like this and touched the bulb and did not burn myself. I know that compact fluorescent bulbs are not as hot as regular incandescent bulbs, but still, I just want to point out that me personally, it concerns me. All right, and then you just take the next outer filter here, and you just kind of, well, first and foremost, I want to tell you that there's Velcro right here at the top and the bottom and on both sides, and the receiving end of that Velcro is there and there as well. So put that on right like that. Match up the Velcro strips on both the top and the bottom and on both sides. Right like that. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so there we go. Now check this out. If I were to move this right over to, let's say, here, and there we go. I'm basically here in my studio. I'm extremely well lit, and I can see that I actually have my glasses on, and there's not, at least right now, I can't tell a glare. I'm actually viewing myself through a mirror that's on a tripod kind of mic stand personal setup that I have that I use to be able to see the viewfinder to make sure that I'm in view here. But yeah, so this is my lighting setup now, and wow, it is a lot brighter, and certainly I'm probably going to show up with a little bit more high def look and feel now that I have gotten rid of that low light situation. Now, the thing is there's another piece of gear here that is for the overhead. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to start out again with the biggest tripod stand. Again, you want to loosen that up right there. Good, so I'm going to tighten that down. Inside of here is your softbox for the top, I guess. And looks like this one actually comes with it already kind of put together. You push that back like that, and you have it. The next thing is that you would want to put your big bulb here. Open this up. Push this right up inside of here, right like that. There's that. I'm going to unscrew this so that we can clamp down onto here. Okay, so it goes through the bottom one. Looks like there is a difference. I don't know what that top section would be for, but okay, let's pull that through. I can see that that does tighten that down. So again, I'm not sure quite what goes through here, but it certainly needs to go through the one that it will clamp down and tighten down when you put that on there. You would put this little clamp with the little hook there, take your little sandbags right there, seat it down right like this. So yeah, that does seem right, I guess. And so you would tighten that, turn it on, and it works. And there we go. I think I now have a perfectly lit studio. I am very impressed with this lighting kit. So there we go. That's how you install the this CowboyStudio lighting system. Can't believe it didn't come with instructions, but hey, we got it all put together, and I think the lighting in here looks pretty darn good. Now, of course, I could certainly deal to play around with placement and everything. I think what I will do is podcastanswerman.com/lighting. Again, that's podcastanswerman.com/lighting for a blog post where you can find where you can purchase all of this gear. And again, if you do purchase this gear using my affiliate link in the blog post over there, I do receive a commission for each one of those sales. So I appreciate you using my link if you do. And for those of you who have already purchased this light setup, and this has helped you on how to install the Cowboy Lighting Studio, I'm glad to have provided this for you. Do me a favor, check out podcastanswerman.com. I have well over 200 podcast episodes of free advice to help audio podcasters. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you who actually go through all the trouble to go to youtube.com/podcastanswerman and click the subscribe button. That really means a lot to me. I'm hoping to get this YouTube channel to the level of my old YouTube channel so I can get rid of the 15-minute limit, and so that I can get into the partner program so that I can finally update my own thumbnails. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of my video blog update here at podcastanswerman.com. Bye-bye.